In this episode, we send in our own bug report as we chat about open betas and alpha funding. Toby gets slap happy as he checks out Rayman Legends on the Wii U.
Oh, now what?
Yeah, praise the sun.
And I take a good hard look at everything Los Santos has to offer in GTA 5.
My mother was a stripper once.
Hi, welcome to Kilobits. We're in Beowulf again, and look, we got a new Dom.
I have a name.
No.
Fran.
Shut up, new Dom.
Fran.
Okay, Rick's back, obviously. And first and foremost, let's talk about Steam's big old announcements last week.
Yeah, SteamOS obviously was the first one. They're promising a lot of big things. I'm not sure how many of them they're actually going to deliver, but very interesting.
We're filming this last week compared to the announcements, so right now we could be completely wrong. Did you know that Valve are releasing a dinosaur?
Oh, amazing. Bringing back T-Rex.
It's about as likely as Half-Life 3, let's be honest with ourselves, unless it's been announced, in which case, crazy.
To be honest, I think the announcement is just one big fuck you to Microsoft, because they're like, oh look, we're undercutting you with our OS, so you don't have to buy it.
But that's
that family sharing idea you had?
They're not really releasing a dinosaur as opposed to taking down an old dinosaur in the form of Microsoft Windows.
Nice pun work there, Rick. Now, I don't know, with a free OS, a gaming PC is almost financially viable. Almost.
And with the promise that they've made, they're saying they've managed to sort of really streamline graphics, streaming technology, and they're promising a lot more from hardware than OSs are delivering at the minute. And I think that's just a big load of nonsense promise to get you to try it out. But if they're managing it,
if it's free, there's no harm.
That's going to be incredible.
I actually can't wait. How are you feeling, Fran? You excited about all these SteamOS exclusives that are probably going to happen?
I can't afford a new computer, so no.
Me neither.
Well, you'll never get to play Half-Life 3.
No, we won't.
Well, I don't think any of us will, to be honest.
But I've been playing Rayman. There are certain games that lend themselves to being played with friends. These usually involve murder, infighting, abuse hurling, and a good degree of masochistic enjoyment. Then there's Rayman Legends, which is a game which transcends all of these ideals and is filled with such magic and beauty that it lends itself to being played not with friends, but with family. Following on from 2011's Rayman Origins, Legends provides us with more of the same thrills, spills and chills, but at a faster pace, with better art and gameplay which is both fun with friends and solo. Once again, the story is ancillary here, proving as Origins did that when it comes to tight 2D fun, the only thing that matters is control. Control is certainly Rayman Legends' strongest card, and it's this tightness and simplicity which lends the game to group play and leads to a satisfying sense of fairness. It's also the only time I've used the Wii U's gamepad and felt like it legitimately added to the game without being foisted on me by Nintendo's marketing division. At certain points throughout the game, your progress will be blocked off, and you'll be forced to switch over to Murphy, a weird, green, fairy frog thing, who's controlled entirely with the touchscreen and gyroscope. These sections provide Rayman Legends with some of its most interesting moments as you manipulate physics, fire cannons, and rotate mechanisms to shepherd a little CPU player through the game's exquisitely designed levels. These levels, though, are way more fun in cooperative play, as trying to convince an AI to do what you want it to do can be frustrating at times. One thing the game has a definitive edge over its predecessor, though, is in terms of content. The game has a lot to do in it, collectibles in their thousands which provide a constant stream of scratch cards, new levels and gold trophies, all of which give instant replayability. They also give you a steady trickle of rewards, so that even grinding for high scores remains entertaining, giving you new skins and even access to some of the best levels from Rayman Origins as you progress. These rewards take the place of once unlockable abilities, meaning that you have access to Rayman's full arsenal of moves from the get-go, and it also allows for a far less linear progression through its levels, two things which make the game's pacing feel far more at the player's command rather than the game's. The art style remains as zany as ever, now going for a fully shaded storybook aesthetic which makes the previous game look almost cheap by comparison, and the characters, from the titular Rayman to the many-skinned barbarian warrioresses, all move with a fluidity and beauty that I can't describe with words. It's not this aesthetic or the fact that Rayman Legends manages to be both challenging and accessible that makes it a truly memorable experience, though. is the soundtrack. I'm not one to place too much importance on sound design in a game. Sure, it can set mood, create tension and imbue memories, but without gameplay to back it up, a soundtrack is just notes coming from a speaker, right? Rayman Legends takes this idea and flips it, smashing gameplay and music together to create some of the most beautiful, entertaining and laugh-out-loud funny level design I've ever seen. These music levels take pop cultural icons like Black Betty and Eye of the Tiger, give them that bizarre Rayman twist, and have you sprint through them at top speed, punching enemies and leaping mariachi skeletons as you go. It's pure nirvana, and the only criticism anyone could possibly have of them is that there's not an entire game called Ray Music where it's just them exclusively. Rayman Legends is fun. In fact, it's more than fun. It's sensory overload, bizarre, balls to the wall, sprinting at full speed fun. It's challenging enough to play solo as a serious platformer, but entertaining and accessible enough that you can play it as a 5-player party game. It walks that fine line between casual and hardcore, but it does it with such confidence that you can't really find any flaws. It's a perfect game. 8 out of 8. Would play forever.
So what's everyone been playing?
Well, I've been playing Etrian Odyssey 4 on the 3DS, which is like a tile-based dungeon crawler. You play as a team of little girls. It's fun.
It's so Japan.
There's also Infinity Blade 3's just come out, and I've been all over that.
Which you've done a quick bit on.
Yep.
You should mention that.
It's quite good.
Cross-promotion.
And also League of Legends, always. Because Worlds Tournament is happening right now. Finals 4th of October.
That's 2 days from now, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 days from now. So who do you think's going to be in the final?
I think Korea's definitely going to be in the final.
And I think they'll be fighting Korea. Or at least a team of Koreans from elsewhere.
Well, I mean, there were 3 teams from Korea going in, so...
Why are they so good?
Yeah, Korea, the country, got 3. Europe, the continent, got 3.
Rick, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Ironclad Tactics on Steam, which is...
TCG, right?
Yeah, but it's really quick. I was quite surprised. You need to think really quickly to actually get it done. I've been playing Mega Man 6 because it was on sale on my 3DS store.
Right.
I know it's the week one. And I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls after how you keep going on about it and reminding me that I need to actually play more.
You see, I don't actually need to tell you guys what I've been playing this month since I only really played 2 games. And I'm not going to talk about what they are.
Speaking of Dark Souls, what comes out soon?
The beta of Dark Souls 2. I'm super fucking pumped. In fact, talking of betas...
I really hope you don't get a key. It would be hilarious.
That would not be hilarious.
I would laugh.
But you know, betas, you get open betas, you get closed betas, you get pay-in betas.
Yeah.
What do you think of pay-in betas? You know, you've got like...
Cash grab.
The trouble with pay-in betas is that there is no longer any incentive for the creator to finish the product. Look at Minecraft, Notch with his 7 fucking holidays a year. Or Cube World, which will never see the light of day.
No. That's just stopped altogether, really, hasn't it? It hasn't seen an update in...
It's not seen an update since it went, like, alpha.
Yeah, and you've also got betas that are kind of riddled with problems when you even get to release.
That's absolutely true. I mean, betas used to sort of fill in the gaps. I mean, look at sort of, back when Microsoft used to do their betas of, like, operating systems, or the Mac box beta of 2000 of OS X. I mean, back in those days, those were to bug test the product because they knew that it would, like, brute force the software.
Back on what beta testing was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Testing.
Exactly, whereas now, it just seems like it's marketing.
There's a few which aren't doing that. Look at Prison Architect. It's still an alpha, but you can tell that even though they're getting the money for the game, they're still really passionate about it and they're releasing regular updates for it. And I think that's...
But you see, this,
they're not all bad.
This is a personality thing. Like, people that actually care about games would make games whether or not they were getting money, which means that usually their beta wouldn't be paid. They'd just be making the fucking game.
But Prison Architect, it was like the first one to go through, was it Steam Early Access? So it's like their flagship for the whole concept.
And it's done really well out of it. There are a lot of people who've jumped on it since who have cash grabbed, exactly like you said, and I don't argue with that. I'm just saying that there are some people who are doing it for the right reasons.
I don't know, I mean, like, when you see stuff like that and Overgrowth, the game would have been made anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is... I will pay for those games once they reach a state that I want to, like, play them in.
But then you've also got these other high-profile betas, like Final Fantasy XIV, which,
Realm Reborn.
when released, go a similar route to, was it Sim City, whatever, in that everything just goes to shit.
The thing is, right, that those games would have benefited from like a big open beta, because then everybody would have, stress tested the servers. I mean, we've got people being refunded by PlayStation Network. Do you know what a fucking embarrassment that is?
That's terrible.
It's like...
I wish it wasn't so funny.
To be fair, though, Final Fantasy, I just steer clear of anything massively multiplayer. Like, single player, great.
I stay clear of 12. That's like my thing, because they took the battle system from 11 and then put it in an offline game?
Yeah, that was weird.
What the fuck? What is that?
To be fair, then they introduced the Final Fantasy 13 battle system.
No, we're fucking done. Okay, I'm not talking about fucking Corridor Simulator 2011 with you right now. This is not a real life situation.
I quite liked it.
Of course she did. Of course she fucking did.
I think she's saying that just to fuck with you.
If she is, it worked.
But there's 13, there's 13-2, and then there's like Lightning's Revenge coming
Oh
out.
man, Lightning's Revenge, that's amazing. I can dress her up as Cloud Strife. I can pretend I'm playing a good game. I won't be.
It couldn't end any other way.
But closed betas, they can also generate so much hype because it's like special people get to play them. So you've got Hearthstone, for example, where beta keys, they're like gold dust. Like, everybody wants one. Whereas then you've got Dota 2, who are just like, oh, you've become part of our closed beta? Have 50 billion keys and give them to everyone that you know.
I sort of see those closed betas that I used to hype as, do you remember Cartman Land? Where all the rides are free, but you can't come in. And people started queuing around the block, and like he turned the amusement park around. It's a lot like that. Like, people, because they see like these people who they, I'd say, respect, but we've done it on Hearthstone. Everybody wants in.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of which, click here to go and see our
Hearthstone video. But the thing about Blizzard and Hearthstone, it's like you can already buy cards.
Yeah.
Just like, fair enough, except when the beta ends, they're like, nah, you can't keep these. We'll just give you some gold instead.
That's my favourite part.
At least they're giving you the equivalent in gold. I mean, usually when you play an MMO beta and it goes to gold, all the servers migrate and just boom, that's it. At least Blizzard aren't completely fucking us.
Do you still get to keep all your levels and stuff on your...
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
Your account will go back to level
to base.
1.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, it means that people won't be like massively over-leveled. Because, I mean, journalists like us will...
To be honest, at least if you've got beta access, you'll kind of become vaguely competent at the game. Well, unless you're unless you're rich, but you know.
Yeah. If you want to see competence on Hearthstone, I believe I've got some more videos coming up,
let's-
and we can put pay to that one.
You can drop anything on the board in between stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
And you could have attacked.
Such a noob.
To be honest, watching him is like serious Schadenfreude or whatever the word is.
Schadenfreude.
That's the one. But anyway, you've heard our opinions of betas, but you can leave a comment down below and tell us what you think.
Please do. We care.
We like the attention.
We don't.
Back in the game? I guess.
Yes! Woo! Welcome back, man!
So, after 5 years, over $137 million of development costs, and 0 confirmed video game related murders, GTA 5 is finally here. But was it worth the wait? GTA 5 follows 3 main protagonists throughout the course of the extensive story, and the first thing you notice is that they are all initially horribly stereotyped.
We're working, amigo.
You begin as Franklin, a young black man trying to escape the hood. The stereotype here is painful in its infancy, and I initially found it very hard to connect with the characters, with Franklin's homie Lamar adding an almost Keenan and Kel style faux comedy duo to the setting. I actually expected a theme song at certain points.
Oh, nigga don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga.
You quickly run into Michael, a retired gangster who seems to be living large off of his criminal earnings. He has a large house, a yacht, and a spoilt, dysfunctional family.
You're ruining my fucking yoga!
The fat, socially awkward son, the slutty daughter, and the cheating wife. The stereotypes here are no less blatant, but they're somehow easier to swallow. From there, you're led to our third major cliché, Trevor, a sociopathic meth-brewing hillbilly living in a desert. Now, we won't mention any popular TV series here, but it's all rather cookie-cutter.
All of the characters, however difficult to swallow, quickly gain a lot of depth and the stereotypes are cast aside. I found myself becoming involved with all three to varying extents, especially Franklin, who becomes a very deep and well-written character as the story progresses.
So you giving me a lecture about not being a good enough gangbanger?
I'd also like to talk about a fourth character, the city of Los Santos itself. The whole sprawling area is such a well-fleshed and truly phenomenal open-world experience that you can literally drive around, or fly, for hours without seeing everything. And there is a lot to see, from the old references, for example the revisiting of Grove Street from San Andreas and the running GTA gags of Pisswasser and so forth, to the beautifully realised city. The city itself is a vibrant, believable living entity in its own right, and carries on the GTA legacy perfectly. Now as you head into Los Santos, each of the characters has separate missions you can follow at your leisure, but more and more they begin to work together. The first mission where they all truly work together is a snatch and grab, and I won't give away any story, but essentially Trevor flies in the gang, Franklin covers with a sniper rifle from some distance away,
36 flow,
and Michael does the footwork. The mission itself is interesting, but what is truly outstanding is the ease of switching between three characters in completely different areas so intuitively and easily. It is surprisingly completely unintrusive, and that is fantastic. I am very impressed.
I don't want to disturb you, Mike, but you might want to do something about the choppers before we're blown out of the sky.
As you progress, you become able to conduct heists. This is another great set of mechanics as you're put in the spotlight for it and make all of the choices, most noticeably who to hire. You can choose to hire better qualified crooks for the various tasks, but they'll want a bigger share of the goods. And you can also take the other characters, which is where one of the other interesting features of the game truly comes into play: special powers. Each power is an extension of their natural skills and makes each of the three very well suited for specific tasks. Franklin gains a boost to his driving, making everything slow motion and gaining ridiculous amounts of control and traction, even in speeding cars. This makes impossible turns, quick evasions, and general car-related shenanigans much easier. Michael gains a bullet time-esque ability, which is of most use to aid in stealth tasks, or lining up that perfect headshot when you don't want to be found being somewhere you shouldn't be. And Trevor picks up the combat slacking abilities with gusto, gaining not only a huge boost to damage dealt, a substantial damage reduction, and also a special melee attack. All of this ties together to make a solid team, with no one being favourable above the others for gameplay reasons, leaving the choice of the main player, in many given situations, pure preference.
Michael, look at this, new city, new set of problems, but the idiots, they stay the same.
So everything about the story, the characters, the setting, it's all fantastic. But the game isn't without its issues. The problems that we are seeing with the game aren't necessarily the game's fault. They're the problems that you're going to get with what is essentially a next-generation gaming experience on what is basically an 8-year-old piece of kit. Rockstar have done a fantastic job of working around the limitations of the hardware with a little technical wizardry. The game comes with an 8GB install disk, which is then streamed along with the data from the play disk simultaneously, effectively doubling data speed. This mitigates, but unfortunately does not completely eliminate, the dreaded texture popping, which can become very noticeable with such busy environments. There are also issues with low-resolution textures in many areas of the game, including ones which are literally thrust into your face. I am referencing, of course, some poorly textured stripper nipples. These are minor grievances, true, but they do tend to spoil things when the game is so incredibly well polished as a whole. But despite texture popping, occasional dodgy AI, and occasional dodgy physics, GTA 5 is a stellar game. The sheer range of experiences you will have playing this is staggering. For example, in the space of 20 minutes I went from demolishing someone's house with a flatbed pickup truck, to a friendly father-son pushbike race along the pier, to punching porn stars in the face and being chased through the sewers on a jet ski while being shot at.
They're shooting at us!
If you want to carry on with the story and live through an incredibly well-written game, you can. If you want to get lost for hours driving or riding or flying around and trying to see it all, you can. If you want to go and play tennis, or illegal street racing, or invest in the stock market, or waste your hard-stolen cash in strip clubs, you can. You can do almost anything in this game. It's truly staggering. You would need days to review everything. And this is all the single player. This is before you get your friends involved, before you get the rest of the world involved. If GTA Online is just this, but with friends, I'm not sure how it can go wrong. So was it worth the wait? And the answer is irrefutably yes. It is the best realised open world game that we've ever seen, and it's probably the perfect Grand Theft Auto game. It certainly outstrips anything else Rockstar have ever done, and that's really saying something. If it was on the next generation of consoles, I think I would be confident giving this game a perfect score, but it's really being pulled back by the old technology, and it does make it 7 out of 8.
Seven out of 8. Are you fucking high?
Yes.
I mean, give him his due. You know, the game, it didn't have a female protagonist, so you know, it's definitely got a reason.
Oh, here we fucking go.
Who invited Tumblr?
It's a non-fucking issue, Fran. It's a non-issue.
Well,
There are some strong female protagonists. There's the cheating wife and the slutty daughter.
This is getting a bit real. I thought that you were going to talk about the hardware considerations.
There are massive
and
hardware
how that had
considerations.
kind of fed into the negativity that you felt with draw distance and pop-up. But nope, we went straight into the vagina issue. I'm so glad that I'm alive.
Seriously though, there was a lot of issues with the hardware. And it wasn't just texture pop, which you kind of expect on the 360.
It was frame dip.
There was that as well. There was a little bit of that.
Okay, so what was
there,
it?
There was poor texturing, but it was occasionally really shonky AI. I had one of my guys stuck in a fence for 10 minutes getting shot by police, and he sort of managed to become invulnerable to damage in that time, and it was really...
Okay, so what you're saying is
There's
that...
lots of little game-breaking bugs, which I truly believe would be mitigated by better
Do
hardware.
you think that we could retroactively give it an 8 once the
Oh
new
god,
shit
if I
rolls
played
out?
this on the PC, or if I played it on the Xbox One, I think this would definitely be an 8.
Well, there we fucking go. That's me placated.
Yep, and moving from what came out last month to what is coming out in the next month, new Pokemon game.
Well done, Big Breakfast. That was good.
She's really good at this.
Yeah, she really is.
New Pokemon game with mega evolutions of
New
original
Pokemon
starters.
Games, they never just do one.
It's the same game. Anyway,
It is, you're right,
starters.
yeah.
You've got Mega Charizard, Bamf. Mega Blastoise. He has 3 fucking cannons. One massive one coming over his head, 2 on his hands.
I'm sorry, I can't really get hype about Pokemon games anymore now that it's been, 40...
What are you hyped about?
What am I hyped about? I'm hyped about nothing. I'm hyped about literally nothing. This is an empty month for me. Oh, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Can't fucking care.
Really? You don't care?
Battlefield 4.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, come on, no one cares.
Another brown military shooter, brilliant! The old Two Souls demo comes out today. Brilliant, Ellen Page overacting in a mocap suit. Literally nothing is good. Everything is broken.
I'm sure you're excited about F1 2013.
Oh, brilliant, I love driving in a fucking circle.
Do you even like video games?
No.
Anyway,
He likes Dark Souls.
I was here when you came into the bar.
I don't think he even likes Dark Souls. I think he just thinks he does.
Tolerate Dark Souls.
He like clings to it like some ray of light. But anyway, I think we have been the Kilobits. I've been Fran.
I've been Ray.
And you can follow us on Twitter at The Kilobits and find us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Kilobits. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, in which case you have terrible taste. Thank you, goodbye.